All the heavy-hitting K-pop idols and fashion shows really snuck up at the very end of Paris Fashion Week. The week closed out with a couple gags and several drags actually. So we're gonna find out who did what on this K-pop stan recap of Paris Fashion Week Fall Winter 25 edition. I'll be covering the K-pop idols that attended this Paris Fashion Week, the brand's runway shows they went to. I'll break down their outfits and then give you my honest and unfiltered thoughts on what they look like. Basically what I did in part 1 of this video, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure to check that out because it's actually one of my best videos ever, you guys. And oh yeah, I'm also gonna be picking my best and least favorite outfits at the end of this video. I'm telling you guys, there's gonna be some big names in this video. There's members of Stray Kids, Blackpink, the Boyz, GIDLE, and a bunch more. So make sure you're tuned into this video and get your notes ready because at the end, you gotta tell me who are your best and worst looks as well. So before I get into it, if you wanna keep watching videos like this where you can learn all about the worlds of K-pop and fashion, make sure to subscribe. Starting with Felix from Stray Kids, not only did he attend the latest Louis Vuitton show, he actually walked as a runway model for Louis Vuitton. Nicki G must be a stay because it's the way he actually loves Felix. This is Felix's second time walking for Louis Vuitton. His walk got better, but what about his outfit? Let's get into it. Yeah, I won't even lie to you guys. Felix's look upon first glance is a little bit confusing, you guys. Like what's going on here? So let's just break down the look one piece at a time. So starting with the pants. So the pants almost look like a pajama pant. It looks like this kind of like flannel or cotton material. It looks more so like flannel actually, or like a cashmere. And this kind of like check pattern, almost like a plaid, but almost kind of like a futuristic. To me, I get a kind of like a window print, like a stained glass window print from this. But yeah, it's a very relaxed leg. It comes across as like a pajama to me. And then the top is this kind of like woven knit, oversized kind of tunic looking thing with a large funnel neck and the kind of cap sleeve that Nicolas Gasquet loves to do for Louis Vuitton. And then he's wearing the belt that's folded over and then he's kind of wearing this speedy / keep all type of thing on the shoulder. So the tunic thing is kind of like, it's kind of cool, kind of interesting. It has like a nice texture to it. It gives me very like dune kind of desert explorer kind of vibes. It looks like this was like woven in like Morocco, like Marrakesh, you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe. That's the kind of vibe it gives me. And then he's like walking through the desert with this kind of like armory tunic thing, you know what I mean? But then at the bottom, it's kind of like a pajama. So that's kind of like a confusing thing there. The thing with Nicolas Gasquet's Louis Vuitton, it's all about contrast, right? Like it's all like, it kind of like a contrast in time or a contrast in textures. And this kind of gives that. And then it's like the top part, like the top funnel neck tunic thing part feels very like old school traditional woven. The pant feels a little bit more modern contemporary with the straight leg. And then the jeans, not the jeans, the sneakers feel a little bit more futuristic kind of like, or more like sporty in a way as well, right? I don't know, the look is kind of like all over the place, honestly. But yeah, like, I mean, it's like an interesting look. And then we have the bag. The bag is like, I feel like the bag is like slightly out of place actually in terms of the color. I feel like the bag maybe like, yeah, like this, you could see them walking through the desert carrying like their duffel bag of stuff. But I think the color is what kind of seems out of place because it seems like a very futuristic kind of color palette, this green, blue, teal, and like the red thing. But again, that's very Nicolas Gasquet's Louis Vuitton. It's all about contrast in terms of time and contrast in terms of formalities, textures, all of that, you know what I mean? Not to justify like this crazy over the top look, but I feel like that's what I've come to expect from Louis Vuitton, and it doesn't really surprise me that this is the type of look they would put Felix in, even though it's not the most, like the gaggiest look ever, honestly. But yeah, like that's the look for, I guess. Like, how do you guys feel about that? I'm indifferent about it. I feel like, I think there are cool separate pieces. I think they are pieces that I would wear the pant, I would wear the tunic, I would wear the bag, but would I wear it all together? I don't know about that now. And in terms of the look, I do want to mention that I feel like this time, Felix's walk, to me, it came across as a lot more confident and like easy going, I feel like. Whereas his first time when he debuted on the runway the last season, which was like a total surprise for like Nicolas Gasquet's 10-year anniversary show for Louis Vuitton. To me, I feel like he was a little bit nervous in that walk, especially because I think he was like the one closing it out, the show out too as well, right? So I felt like for his first show, he was a little bit nervous at the walk. It came off as like a little bit stiff, if I'm being honest with you guys. But this walk felt a lot more cool. It felt a lot more confident. I really like this walk on him more. Like he definitely improved in terms of his overall walk. And I'm like not gonna pretend I'm like a runway coach, blah, 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 this and that. But I just felt like this walk was a little bit more confident to me. But yeah, that was Felix at Louis Vuitton. That was interesting. Lisa from Blackpink attended the latest Louis Vuitton show as well. And I feel like her look this time, she kept it cute, you guys. Like she really kept it cute. I don't think she was trying to do too much. She really, in my opinion, she kept it cute. She kept it cute and simple. So let's get into her look, you guys. So She's wearing all black. She's wearing this new biker bag. I feel like they're really insistent on putting her in this bag, or Louis Vuitton in general is just very insistent on pushing this bag. And the more I see it, the more I do think it's cute, if I'm being honest with you guys. But yeah, she was actually Lisa's actually coming off of a runway campaign, not a runway campaign, an ad campaign with Louis Vuitton. She did a big ad campaign with them and this bag was featured in it. So because I feel like she's coming from like that big ad campaign, she just wanted to keep it cute for the show. You know what I mean? Like she didn't want to do too much. She wanted to come as a cute Louis Vuitton ambassador and she did exactly that. So yeah, she wore the same biker bag as she did in the campaign. And this time she's wearing this kind of like more of like a taupe color with the black trim and then the gold hardware. This bag is, I can't lie, it's growing on me. And then she's wearing like a long jacket, coat kind of thing. It looks like it has this kind of like tiered bishop sleeve. The sleeve is very like, it feels very Nicolas Gasquet, Louis Vuitton. And then she's wearing this kind of like jumpsuit button-up type of thing, which is like almost like a cat suit. And then has kind of like a lace trim on her chest. And then she's wearing the saltoir. The thing with Lisa, I feel like she's always wearing like the Louis Vuitton jewelry, the accessories, things like that. And she's doing it in an interesting way. And then she has her hair like slightly half up, half down, like the bangs or whatever. And like the very natural, not natural glam. The glam is actually very heavy. I don't know why I'm saying that. But yeah, she made the heavy eyeliner and like the kind of like more blushy looks and then like that very cool lip, right? So there's that. And then she's wearing these kind of cool leather, like almost like a tire rubber effect boots. Overall, the look is all black. Even though it's all black, there's a little bit of dimension there in terms of like the trim and like the lapel or whatever. It looks like a scarf or like, I don't know if it's connected to the jacket, but yeah, like I just feel like she kept it cool. She kept it cute. She kept it simple. She wasn't trying to do too much. She was probably like, oh, like I just had a campaign with Louis Vuitton. Let me keep it cute with them and not be doing the uttermost at the show, right? But yeah, like that was her at Louis Vuitton. Interesting this time because I feel like a lot of the time it feels like Louis Vuitton has like a bunch of K-pop idol ambassadors at their shows or like a lot of people attending the shows. But this time I feel like the guest list and the amount of people that attended the show was actually like very little. So yeah, like Lisa was there. Lisa is like one of the main stars. Felix also one of the main stars as well, right? They had their two heavy hitters at the show, which was cute. This might just be Blackpink Rosé's first ever flop for Saint Laurent. Do you guys think so? Let's get into the look, you guys. So one of Saint Laurent's favorite, one of Vaccarello's favorites is Rosé from Blackpink. As we all know, like they're kind of like besties. They're kind of like this. They're always together, always doing something. But yeah, so Rosé attended the latest Saint Laurent show. And you know what, you guys? I'm going to have to say her look from, like, let me just say it now. Like it was not, I think it's probably one of her worst looks for Saint Laurent. So let's get into the look. There's not really much to get into, actually. She's wearing like basically one dress and like a pair of heels. So getting into the look, she's wearing this kind of like ivory, silkish, kind of like pleated, like ruffled dress at the top. It's ruffled at her chest area and then it's also ruffled at the hem. To me, this gives me like very bed skirt. You know what I mean? Like those kind of very like 90s, 80s bed skirts that are kind of like ruffled at the bottom. They're kind of pleated and ruffled all the way at the bottom. And then the top is up there as well. It kind of just feels, I just don't think this is the most flattering shape, honestly. It doesn't give me like that very like sexy kind of like flattering moment, alluring moment, YSL girl I've come to know from the brand, you know? So there's that. It just feels like she pulled a curtain or like a bed sheet or like a blanket over herself. This kind of gives me, and the way she's like clutching her chest too. Did you guys notice that? I feel like throughout the entire show, no matter what clip you see, like she's clutching her chest area or like her mid-torso area like this. It gives me the vibe, it kind of gives that vibe where it's like, you're like waking up at your lover's bed or like a house or whatever and like you're getting up and you're just like wrapping the sheets around you and to go and get a glass of water or like a glass of juice from the fridge or something. And like that's kind of like, I don't know, like this play or like this like act. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And then she's wearing these kind of like these camel color pointy toe sandals that YSL's been doing a lot. But yeah, like that was the YSL look. To me, like this look was like very shapeless. It was not very, it was just not giving to me. I don't know how else to describe this look. Like it gave me very bed skirt, it gave me very curtains, and yeah, like I'm just gonna have to go ahead and declare this probably her worst look ever for Saint Laurent, but let me know how you guys feel about it. Does anyone know why she's like carrying her chest like this? Was there something wrong with the dress or is like that just part of the theatric? I don't know. Cha Eun Woo from Astro was the only other K-pop idol to attend the same Saint Laurent show. I feel like previously Saint Laurent would have like a bunch of K-pop idols attending the show, but now they just have their ambassadors Cha Eun Woo and Rosé attended the most latest show. And you know what? I feel like I'm still feeling kind of like indifferent about Cha Eun Woo being an ambassador for Saint Laurent. I feel like when it was first announced, I was kind of like, and then the last show, I was like, okay, like it's getting somewhere. But now this latest show, I'm back to kind of like a flat line with that. But yeah, let's get into his look. So in terms of his look, I feel like he's wearing what the new YSL or like the new Saint Laurent man is. I feel like before Saint Laurent was all about this very like ultra skinny or slim black suiting, like very black tie affair, very like gala. But now it's a little bit more, it's not as stuffy. It's a little bit brighter. There's colors incorporated, there's texture, there's pattern. Before it was just all black. Now there's kind of like creams, there's reds, there's khakis, there's tans, there's stripes, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit more relaxed. It's not so form-fitting. It's not so this. It's a little bit more easygoing, you know what I mean? Which looks good on Cha Eun Woo. I feel like 10 wore a similar look the last season as well, like kind of like cream jacket. But yeah, Cha Eun Woo looks really good. I feel like he has good proportions. He honestly looks good in everything because like he has really good proportions and he's like really good looking. I think his good looks and his like handsomeness really carries a lot of this look, you know what I mean? Otherwise they would just be like kind of met to me, but yeah, he looks really good in it. I think it would have been more of like a gag had he worn the like the thigh high boots that they showed the last season, like this most last recent show. That would have been such a gag if he did that, but I guess they just opted for this kind of classically dashing good looking kind of look for Cha Eun Woo, which I'm not mad about, but I do think they had a chance to really like stun everybody or like have everyone like really, really like shocked, or, you know, but maybe next season they can do something like that, you know? My favorite part of Paris Fashion Week, always, that I always look forward to, honestly, you guys, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, is Juyeon attending the Balenciaga show, you guys. Like, he cannot do any wrong. Balenciaga cannot do any wrong. Every time Juyeon goes to the Balenciaga show, I'm actually gagged, you guys. Like, he looks too good, including this time. This time was like, oh, you guys, like his vibe is just too good. I don't know why he's not a Balenciaga ambassador. Like, what's going on, you guys? Like, what's going on with all that? But yeah, let's get into his look. So Juyeon this season, he wore this kind of a Lydia matching set. I feel like it's like this very exaggerated motorcycle kind of set. He wore this very cropped on the torso actually, but like very long oversized sleeves, kind of leather racing motorcycle jacket thing. And then he wore the matching like motorcycle pants and then these very exaggerated shape sneakers, which don't even look that exaggerated compared to the pant or whatever. And then underneath all that, he has this like very tight form-fitting black kind of like spandex tight cotton top or whatever, which looks really good on him as well. When the jacket was like off, you guys, like, ugh, you guys, it was too good. But yeah, this overall look, it feels very Balenciaga. It feels like very cool Juyeon. Do you guys follow the Boyz? Because if you do, there was this one clip of, there was this like concept trailer for the Boyz where Juyeon was kind of like in like a car, like wearing a tight top and then like motorcycle pants. It kind of reminds me of that a lot, which I really, really like. And then he has this like the gelled hair, feels like very 90s, feels very cool. And just like the poker face on the official call photo, you guys. Like, the thing with Juyeon is that I feel like there's not any other idol right now that is going to Paris Fashion Week and serving the same kind of vibe as Juyeon. Like Juyeon, when he goes to the show, like he's giving a certain type of vibe that I haven't felt from anybody else. And I just feel like it really sells it for me every single time. Like I feel like I really look forward to it and it just, yeah, am I sounding crazy right now? But yeah, like his look, all black. I mean, it wasn't like the most like the craziest over the top look, but it also wasn't boring at the same time. It was very Balenciaga. I think it fit him very well. I think it suited him very well. Whoever styled him for this did a really good job. And honestly, the thing with Juyeon is like he knows how to come to work. You know what I mean? Like he knows how to come and he knows how to serve without doing too much and not doing too little. Miu Miu once again feels like the K-pop Olympics, you guys. Like the way they have all the K-pop girls gathered for the Miu Miu show is like next level. They had by far the most K-pop idols of any show. So they had Wonyoung from IVE attend the show. They had Momo from Twice attend the show. They had Minnie from GIDLE attend the show. I think all three of them are ambassadors actually. And then finally a new surprise edition, which I was very much here for, was Ella from Meow, also attended the Miu Miu show. So I'll go through one of the looks one at a time, starting with Wonyoung. One thing about Wonyoung, you guys, is that she's always gonna treat the Miu Miu show like a literal Halloween party. Like she's always dressed up in some kind of like get up for the Miu Miu show. So this season she's like dressed as a cowgirl for this season, whereas last season she was just as a 1950s housewife. This season she's a cowgirl. She wore all like the Miu Miu cowgirl pieces. I don't know how she even found so many cowgirl inspired pieces by Miu Miu. So she's wearing the straw hat thing, which is very cute actually. But they actually did this before in a denim version, and then she's wearing this kind of like triangle bandana top thing, matching skirt, and then she has these kind of like belt jewelry type of things, and then the wander bag or whatever, and then she has kind of highlighted chestnut hair, and then the earrings, like these random like fun like flower earrings, and like the classic Wonyoung makeup. But yeah, like she basically dresses as a cowboy. Oh yeah, she also has these very cool Miu Miu boots that are still very popular to this day, like the kind of buckle boots, right? But yeah, she dresses as a cowboy, and I feel like the thing I live for about Wonyoung is like she really just does not care. She does not care, but like she just does whatever she wants, right? Like I feel like she felt very out of place at the show. Not that she personally felt that, but she looked very out of place at the show, and that's what I love about her. Like it's all like, she just does what she wants, right? And she always looks great doing it. She's always like serving some kind of fantasy, right? When she does like these kind of like theatrical looks. But yeah, like I like this look, and I feel like Miu Miu just lets her do whatever she wants, honestly. Next, we have Momo from Twice. I will say that Momo from Twice, I feel like out of all the looks of all the idols I mentioned that attended the Miu Miu show, I probably like her look the least. Not that I really like I dislike it, but I just feel like the look felt very, it just felt very commercial. It just felt like she went to the store like the week before and picked out the pieces she was gonna wear and that was that, you know? Like it just looks like she wore like the very commercial pieces. So she's wearing this kind of like double layer polo thing wearing off the shoulder, like very long sleeve, like a very signature Miu Miu piece by now, like the kind of striped polo. She's wearing these kind of blue, whatever, like work pants, like basic pant or whatever, these heels, and then she's wearing the Miu Miu bag with the white trim as part of like their gymnasium collection, which is not my personal favorite, but it's growing on me a little bit. The more I see it, the more they shove it down my throat, the more I guess I do like it. But yeah, like I feel like her overall look was probably my least favorite out of all the attendees. But I will say that I think her glam is probably my favorite out of all of them. She has this kind of very androgynous, gender fluid, like non-binary vibe to her for this show. Like that bob cut with the bangs, and it's kind of like that wet styling. And then she has like the very, very heavy eyeliner, but then the soft cheeks, you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of living for this glam, honestly. So she has that, but yeah, like that was Momo at the Miu Miu show. Next we have Minnie, which Minnie's always like one of my personal faves at the thing show. I just feel like she's honestly the perfect Miu Miu girl. Like she's kind of like that I don't care attitude, like that very kind of I do whatever I want, blah blah, but in a very unassuming and unpretentious way. Like she's never doing too much, but she's never doing too little. You know, I love that. But yeah, in terms of her look, she's wearing like the very signature Miu Miu kind of blue bandeau top at this point. But then what surprised me about her look is that this season they're doing this very like bright red, which is a little bit more interesting. And I actually think the bright red goes really well with that Miu Miu blue and then that kind of like pastel pink crop top thing. For some reason, like even though all the colors are very like loud and wacky and like flamboyant, it's all coming together without feeling like too Eastery, if you know what I mean. And then yeah, like she's wearing the whatever Miu Miu bag. It looks like the adventure bag or some kind of rendition of the adventure bag, and then the paracord keychain. What I really like about her look, actually the thing I like most about all of their looks is that she's wearing these kind of like the Miu Miu logo socks, but it's like worn with the Miu Miu thong sandals, so it has like the kind of really obnoxious double Miu Miu logo kind of situation going on. And then she's like the black toenails. Like this feels very like Miu Miu girl, like that very like grungy, geeky, girly Miu Miu girl. But yeah, like that was her. And then she also had a bob this season. For the show, her and Momo were having like a bob off at the after party. They were looking very cute together when they took a photo. But yeah, like that was Minnie's look. And then finally, we're gonna get to Ella's look. Ella was probably the biggest surprise of the season. She was really great. The thing with Ella is that I feel like she has like a very unique visual look to her. She almost has very like Fina-like features. So she looks really like she's like really, she has like an interesting look to her. That's kind of hard to place or like hard to say or like specify what it is exactly. But yeah, like I feel like for Ella, they styled her in more of like a girly school girl kind of Miu Miu type of look that very like, it kind of goes with the kind of new gymnasium collection. She's wearing the white pleated kind of tennis mini skirt with the Miu Miu branding on it. A lot of Miu Miu branding going on in her look actually. So she has the skirt, she has the new signature Miu Miu belt with the gold hardware and then that kind of cool embellished or like metal belt layered on top of it. And then for her torso or like her top area, she's wearing basically like a bunch of the Miu Miu tube tops that are like bandeaus layered on top of each other. The Miu Miu aesthetic right now, or like one of their signature styling things is that they just like love to layer jersey, like layered cotton on top of jersey on top of cotton, and it all has like the Miu Miu logo, just all like this very obnoxious branding. But it also at the same time feels very like cutesy and fun because the logos are kind of small and not like too in your face, but the way they style it makes it in your face, right? So she's wearing that look. I like the colors a lot on her, like these greens, blacks, navies, and the grays, like all these cooler tones for some reason it's like looking really good. Nice on her. And then she has the same kind of like Miu Miu logo socks, but instead of the thong sandals, she's wearing more of like a pretty like kind of like flat kind of thing, you know, with the pearl on it. But yeah, like I feel like her look was more so like that kind of like girly schoolgirl kind of Miu Miu look, that kind of side of it. So each of them kind of wore a different kind of vibe out of the four idols. Like Wonyoung was like went full theater kid mode with the cowboy Halloween costume. Momo literally went to the Miu Miu store to get her look. Minnie was given her look definitely by the team. Like you can tell like the Miu Miu team loves her. Gave her the very quintessential Miu Miu girl look, all the different elements. My favorite thong sound on the socks, and then Ella, the new addition, gave her basically the Miu Miu school gymnasium look, which they kind of covered all bases. So shout out to Miu Miu. They really got the bases covered with the K-pop idols, right? So there's that. Who's your favorite look out of all the Miu Miu girls, you guys? I think they did a good job. I feel like Miu Miu is kind of like that, it feels like a very it girl brand right now. Like everyone loves Miu Miu. Like Miu Miu is kind of like every cool girl. My friend said it perfectly. Every cool girl now is like Miu Miu is like the desirable brand now. Like instead of wanting Chanel, they want Miu Miu now, which is so true, you guys. Like that's so true. Finally, we have Soyeon from GIDLE as well, who attended Paris Fashion Week. I feel like whenever she attends Paris Fashion Week, she's always doing something very over the top. And this season was no exception. So she went to the Alexander McQueen show. She really served with the short hair. She almost looks like very boyish, again, very androgynous, very non-binary, very gender fluid. Her look was actually interesting as well. I liked her look a lot. I'm gonna really have to speed through this because I can see on my camera there's only literally like 5 minutes left of recording time. So her look was actually really, really interesting. I liked her blazer a lot. Her blazer with this kind of more angular kind of blazer with a button point, like a button point thing, and then a very sharp lapel, and the hem has the kind of like V shape because it's asymmetric, right? And then layered under that very tight fitting jacket was this kind of Victorian, ruffled, distressed Victorian top that was peeking out of it. You kind of see how like it goes up her neck, very Victorian to me. The only mess about this outfit was like the bag. I feel like the bag was a complete mess, and then she's wearing these kind of like platform sandal things. I think the look was good. I think what's interesting about Soyeon is that the way she carries herself is very like powerful. It's very like intense, you know what I mean? Like she comes through like very confident, very strong, and you can even tell from this photo, like she's like mid-walk or whatever. But yeah, like her look was interesting. Alexander McQueen, I haven't been really paying a lot of attention to them, but this kind of getting me a little more tuned in. And yeah, like that was Soyeon at Alexander McQueen. We have just enough time for me to do my favorites and least favorites, best, worst looks for the season, you guys. Who do you guys think it is? Again, I feel like for like this last video, I don't really feel like there were any like travesties, but were any of these like the gaggiest outfits of all time? I don't know. Okay, so my favorite outfit, you guys, from the idols I covered in this video. Who is it? I want to say it's a tie between Minnie and Ella. I don't want to say Juyeon because I just feel like that's so biased. You guys are probably like, oh, he's just saying that because he loves Juyeon, and that would be true. So that's why I'm not gonna pick Juyeon, even though you guys know in my heart he's my #1. So between Minnie and Ella, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Minnie. I feel like Minnie is she's really reached the point where she's really convincing me that she's like the ultimate Miu Miu girl. I personally love Miu Miu a lot. I like Minnie a lot, and I think she's really become the perfect representation of what Miu Miu is or what Miu Miu stands for, and the way they style her, the way she carries herself, the looks. Like I just feel like I love it all. The look this season was unexpected, even though I feel like personally I feel like Miu Miu is one of those brands where I've come to know, or like every season I kind of know what to expect in terms of the show, in terms of the looks, what everyone's gonna wear. But this season, even though it felt very Miu Miu, the look felt very something I wouldn't expect, right? All the color like mixing and this and that, and then the thong sandal with the socks, you guys. Like that was just like a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I was like living for that. Like I need to get the socks. So yeah, she was probably my best dress of the season. Ella was like, she did pretty good. I think it was unexpected, but the color tones on her worked really well. I feel like she has potential to be like a great Miu Miu girl as well. So yeah, those two were my top best dress for this video, not including Juyeon because, like I said, I would be too biased to say Juyeon. My least favorite looks, you guys, you know what? It's gonna be Rosé. Even though Rosé is like the ultimate Saint Laurent girl, this season was like her actual first flop, in my opinion, for Saint Laurent. I just feel like this look was a little bit awkward. It was maybe too theatrical, the way she was holding her waist, or maybe she did that out of necessity. And the dress was like, I don't know, maybe there was like a problem with the dress, but that's an even, I would have rather that it was like a theatrical thing and that's what she was just holding. But yeah, like it was giving too much of a bed curtain, and this was her first official flop for Saint Laurent for me, honestly. But yeah, like those were my best and worst dress. Let me know who your best and worst dress are in the comments as well. And hopefully you watched the entire video, you could properly choose one. But yeah, those are my best and worst dress, and that was the end of my Paris Fashion Week recap parts 1 and 2, you guys. I covered a lot of the K-pop idols that attended the shows. Maybe I didn't cover everybody, but I tried my best. I talked about all the idols I saw, and let me know what your honest thoughts were. I gave you my honest thoughts, and now you guys have to do the same to me, you guys. Thanks for watching this series if you watched both episodes 1 and 2, and make sure to subscribe to Fashion Alt. My name is Kevin, and I'm the only one actually that makes videos that teaches you guys all about the worlds of K-pop and fashion, and I always make videos like K-pop recaps like this that is actually interesting to you. Oh my gosh, like I feel like I like blazed through this video. Like I talked to like 100,000 words a minute. You guys, my phone memory, basically anything, nothing left.